we go again.
Let me ask you though, man, what you think about the All-Star game in itself?
I personally enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like, there was a lot of breaks and pauses in between games. And I know that was to kind of give people a chance to rest before, because the winner takes on the winner of this, and then you would get the advantage because of this. Woo woo. I get all of that, but there was a lot of unnecessary pauses. I think they had, but overall, I enjoyed the entire weekend.
Yeah.
I had a good time with it. I know I'm in the minority on that too, but yeah, definitely had a great time.
I'm going to tell you this though, man. I actually enjoyed it. So the thing that was interesting is that I saw all of the events. I actually one of the things that was interesting. I only saw half of the Rise of Stars. I love that they added the G League element into it as well, though, man. So I think that to me, I still appreciate the competitiveness of that particular game, though, right? I think that usually you think you got pride and everything like that. I think that for that game, it's always shown to be a more spirited game to me. I think that one of the things that was interesting, oddly enough, for me this year, I didn't particularly enjoy the 3-point contest like I thought I would have. It was cool, but it just to me it didn't have like the high moments of exhilaration where you think of like, oh no, both of them are or there's multiple people going bang 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 bang. Like it showed that like it showed that there are some on any given night you can have somebody who's really good, but then it also showed that somebody who you think is really good, it can just be really mid to me though, man. So it wasn't like at all like seeing Steph in it, or even when Buddy Hield got off to his hot start early, I was like, okay, we here now. And then for me, it just kind of fizzed out though, man. I wasn't that blown. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't blown away by
I mean, I think all the events had the highs and lows, right? Um, First of all, the Rising Stars thing that you brought up, the G League has been incorporated in that for a couple of years.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Uh, so I like the fact that the winner of that particular tournament got to play in the big stage tournament. I thought that was dope. Um,
that's fine.
but I mean, we had Dame in the 3-point comp. Like we had some named people in the 3-point competition, whereas in the dunk contest, let's be honest, you really only knew Matt McClung. You know what I'm saying? Um, so the thing is that even with that being said, though, as much as people thought that the dunk contest was going to be a bust, it wasn't. It was really the highlight. Uh, Again, I personally enjoyed the whole weekend. I thought it was an opportunity for us to learn some new names. I thought it was another opportunity to see the goal this year was to have a competitive game, and you had that, right? You had the
Yep.
old dogs didn't want to lose to them puppies, you know what I'm saying? And so you had the combined European group against Team USA. So there was a
Yep.
lot of pride in every single one of the games. Now, again, there are going to be people that are more competitive than others. Like you couldn't tell me Shea wasn't trying to win, right?
Facts.
And but at the
Facts.
same time, there was people out there playing. There was people out there trying to get their stuff off. But ultimately, I don't know. I personally would love for it to just go back to East versus West. And I think that the incentive that you put on it, right? And I know this would never work, but I'm just telling you what my idea is. I don't think it would ever work. Don't even think it would be a conversation. But I think what you do is obviously money is always an incentive. But the other thing is that to put the implication on the game, whoever wins the East and the West game, that particular person gains home court advantage for the finals.
I thought they had already had that. They did that a couple of years ago.
See, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
just
they
thought
did that a
that.
couple of years ago. Here's the thing about it. This is the thing I think that's crazy. I don't. This is me for me personally. I don't think that money is going to be that big of an incentive for the All Stars unless you make a purse large enough, because a lot of the guys who are All Stars are already making 30 plus million a year, right?
I get
Everybody
that.
who's already there,
I
right? So
get
it's
that.
like you making $1 million ain't gonna be but a drop in the bucket for them. I do think, however, that having $10 million for like a dunk contest winner, to me that would be a big deal because then you get somebody who's like Mac McClung, who with that $10 million is probably more than he's made his whole NBA career. Him going up and down from the G League, though, bro. I think that $10 million also for like somebody like Stephon Castle, who was the follow up the number two in the dunk contest. That's still something for him being on a rookie contract. It's enough to me that I think that would give you some interest of I would imagine like you think Aaron Gordon, all the real dunk contest dunkers that are still active. It's only Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, the ones that you've seen before that were all-star level players, right? And so I'd imagine that because of their level of play, that they're probably somewhere in the 150 million contracts and up, right? So I think that $10 million is still nothing to snooze at that would make someone be like, okay, I might be interested in that though, man. But I think that with that being said, I think that the dunk contest, I'm gonna be honest with you. I only watched the dunk contest to see what Mac McClung was gonna do, right? I've been following Mac McClung, man, since he was like a junior in high school. So I've been a big fan of his. I'm not like a casual. Like I followed him for when like I remember watching his Ball is Life mixtape. I remember watching Patrick Ewing in the stands so to recruit him. I remember him going to Georgetown, transferring to Georgia. I mean to Texas Tech. Like I'm a fan of Mac McClung, so I'm not at all like a casual. So I've been seeing him do a lot of dunks for a long time, and the one thing that I can appreciate about him is that I think that he is more than a dunker. But I think that if he's and I know that he's more than a dunker because I've watched him. But a lot of his highlights are his dunks. But what I can't appreciate about him though, man, is that he's leaning in on it. Like if I enjoy the showmanship behind it, I'm gonna practice it. So I appreciate that almost not almost all every single one of his dunk attempts were first time. Like it's like you can tell that he practiced it, he'd been there before. And I certainly to me appreciate the professionalism and showmanship and just leaning in to saying, no, nah, I'm out here trying to win this thing though, bro. So I think that that's fire to me though, bro. Like I think that aspect of it is real dope. I think that the other thing too that I was the only thing that I was kind of disappointed in is that I think that the dunk contest is an opportunity for you to make a name for yourself if you don't. Mac McClung, perfect example. You had to be a fan to know, right? But if you're a casual fan, you don't know that the kid from the Bucks. There's this highlight of him where he catches the dunk off the rim, off the miss, and he's so high up that he has to move his face out of the way so he won't hit his face on the rim. And I ain't talking about just forehead head. His entire head was above the rim. But my thing that I was disappointed on is that for this to be the platform for you to make the name of yourself, a bunch of them went out and did dunks and they were doing the game. And I just didn't think that when people said, oh, the creativeness it has moved away from the dunk contest, it's just like if you gonna do it though, bro, then go all in. And I like that Mac McClung practices these dunks though, man. So I enjoyed that. I watched specifically to see what he would do differently. And for him to be a 2 foot jumper at barely 6 feet tall, though, man. Now listen, man, it's incredible. I never get tired of watching dunk contests. It don't matter what year, but when you have this as the platform to make a name for yourself, yeah, you got to take advantage of that, though, bro.
Well, whatever happened, man, it did started to garner some interest from some stars because Josh said he might be interested. Giannis said he might be interested, and a couple other names. So maybe the dunk contest will be a little bit more interesting next year.
I would now listen. I would love in a perfect world. I would love to see because Giannis got in the dunk contest very early on. I mean, he was like 19 or 20. I think he got into it his rookie year, right? So I don't know what dunks Giannis will do because he's 6'10", so it's a lot different from somebody who's a smaller guard where you can really see the leap in the abilities. But I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing Zach LaVine back up in it. I wouldn't mind seeing Ja Morant in it. I wouldn't mind seeing Aaron Gordon if he still got some dunks out there left over in the tank. And I wouldn't mind seeing Mac McClung come back out there now with them guys, though, man. So those are 4 or 5 guys. I don't think Anthony Edwards is a dunk contest kind of guy. I think he's a game dunker. And to be honest with you, I think that Zion is a game dunker. I think that he does some dunks that you would see in a dunk contest done so regularly by him that you would think, oh, yeah, this is dunk contest worthy, but those are just in game dunks from him, though. So that's
I don't
five
want to see
guys that I think.
I don't want to see Matt come back, bro. I think after you win 3 in a row,
That's
retire,
it.
bro. That's
That's
it.
it.
Put him as a judge or something.
Now, I do like the idea of, you brought it up before about having uh, a worldwide having completely open to the best dunkers in the world, right? And I don't know if that moves away from it being an NBA dunk contest, but I do think that there are ways that you can incorporate, what I'm saying, like you can incorporate the NBA in a worldwide one. I think that you can. I would love to see like if you do the same way how they got these how they broke it up into teams and all these people had their teams. I think if you had a person, you had the team LeBron or the LeBron sponsor guy, the whoever, the Chris Paul guy, the Ant Edwards guy, that you have your guy that you say, no, this is somebody who's representing the East or whatever. I think that there are ways that you can do that to still make it about NBA. But if Mac McClung isn't in it, I don't really see anybody in the next couple of years who can do something so dazzling that it's captivating though, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something that's got to be looked at. But
If Gerald Green is still out here doing dunk contests, worthy dunks, I'll put him in there, bro. Put him in there because I thought that Gerald Green was like a G League coach. But put him in there though, bro.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
But
anything
hey, did
else?
you see? Let me ask you this though. One of the things that I thought that was a very interesting thing, and a suggestion. Uh, I saw someone talking to Kyrie and James Harden about the possibility of adding 101, run them ones, right? What you think about that? It looks successful for the women's here though, bro. But what how does that what's that look like to you though, bro?
I'm not for it at all. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
Nah,
you're not.
no, we've talked about this before, and I've heard your thoughts on it. It ain't moving the needle for me, bro. Like I said, for me, I personally want to see the East and West game back, bro. Like I want to see the best of the best go at it. Like I was cool with this format this year, which is kind of just like the team LeBron versus team Giannis. Like it's I get it. It's the schoolyard, the black
Yeah,
tie.
yeah, yeah.
Like I get all of that, but the one on one don't move the needle for me, bro. Like it. I want to. I like the team aspect of it. So that's
So,
just where I'm at.
so check this out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that I would love to see this, and but I'm gonna tell you the reason why it's not gonna happen. Shout out to the homie Mark checking in anyway, though, man. But aside from injuries, right? Because you can get injured playing the All Star game. That's the reason why they take your life. But I'm gonna tell you even more than that, right? I think that one of the reasons why you'll see it won't happen, to be quite honest with you, is because I just think that as great as the idea of playing ones is, I don't think that there's as much of an emphasis on the defensive side of playing ones for people to go out there and be comfortable with getting cooked one on that. It's pride to me. It's like to me, this is the thing about it. As crazy as it is, I think that you would have to have a true two-way player out there. and you would have to have some stipulations because you would have to have, well, what about the guards versus the bigs? Do you limit the number of post ups or whatever it is? Is it 3 dribbles? Like, I think if you do 3 dribbles, something like that. But here's the thing, as crazy as it is, I think that somebody like uh uh Jalen Brown would do very well. Jalen Green would do very well. And there's people who can play both sides. Paul George, if he's not stealing the rest of that money out there in Philly. Shea, Shea's a good one-on-one and good defensive player. But I just think that for all of the good players who I think can really light it up one-on-one, I think that a lot of people would get cooked. And I don't. Can you imagine somebody how that's a you are on the internet for perpetuity, bro. If Kyrie got you falling down all over the place, though, bro. So I don't think that nobody want to sign up for that, though, bro. So for that reason, I don't see it happening because I just don't think that nobody wants to play defense so hard that on that one time you get shook and that's it. They ain't
Yeah,
trying to do. They ain't doing.
yeah, they not trying to do it. Yo, so another thing that happened at the All Star is that the traditional team of the TNT team was honored. Uh, like they're not coming back next year for the All Star game because the NBA is transitioning to the streaming. Even though they have a deal in place with I think ESPN, I don't know that that carries over to the All Star game. So we're probably looking at a new crew next year.
Well, I think that yeah, they still will do like post game and pre games and things like that, though, man. But yeah. I think that writing's been on the wall for quite some time. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've always, maybe I'm very much traditional in that regards, but I've always liked the idea that it was on TNT, though, bro. It's just it's cool. And I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think that there's been some celebrity games that have been on ESPN. I'm cool with that. But I mean, something about having Kenny, Ernie, Charles, and Shaq here recently added to the mix as that's a staple of NBA to me, though. NBA culture. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
it'll look completely
It,
different.
it, what's up?
I said that it's gonna look completely different next year.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. It's like they gave it a blueprint, so the only thing you could do is try to take that next step from it, make it a better version of that. But maybe they might take the approach of doing something completely different. All I do know, bro, is if they keep putting Taylor Rooks out here, though, she too much pressure for these boys, oh man. Taylor Rooks is too much pressure, bro. I'm talking about she gonna have these players out here talking crazy, though, bro. I'm talking. Listen, I saw her interview somebody and they was talking about the one and they was like, oh yeah, me all day. I wouldn't pick nobody on me. And I'm thinking like Malika Andrews would have somebody talking crazy. But Taylor Root be having these boys talking crazy out here though, boy. Crazy.
The boys be ready to risk it all, huh?
Risking it all though, man. They want to impress us so bad though, bro. She pressure, bro. Very much so.